Have you ever noticed something strange? The loudest person in the room is not always the most respected, and sometimes the quiet person walks in, says almost nothing, and everyone still listens to them. Why? Because human beings don't react to confidence. They react to the appearance of confidence. And that realization changed the way I see people forever. So I tried an experiment. For one full day, I acted confident. Not because I felt confident, but because I wanted to discover something terrifying. How differently would the world treat me if I simply looked like I believed in myself? And what happened shocked me. But before the experiment starts, you need to understand something most people never realize. Your brain is constantly scanning people, not deeply, not intelligently, quickly, in seconds. Your brain silently asks, is this person important? Should I listen to them? Should I respect them? Or should I ignore them? And the scary part? Most people decide the answer before you even speak. Not based on intelligence, not based on kindness, not based on talent, based on signals. Eye contact, voice, body language, pauses, energy, certainty. And once I understood that, I started noticing something disturbing. The people who got the most respect were not always smarter. They just looked more certain. Meanwhile, genuinely intelligent people stayed invisible because they looked nervous. And honestly, that hurt to realize. Because so many good people spend their entire lives shrinking themselves, not because they are weak, but because they accidentally look unsure. So I designed a fake confidence experiment. One day, one rule. Even if I felt nervous inside, I would never show it outside. And no, this was not about becoming fake. This was about understanding human psychology. Because maybe confidence is not something you feel first. Maybe confidence is something you practice before your brain finally believes it. So the experiment began. The first thing I changed was my walking. Most people walk like they're apologizing for existing. Head slightly down, fast steps, weak posture, trying not to take space. I never noticed it before, but once you observe people carefully, you cannot unsee it. So during the experiment, I walked slower. Not arrogant, just calm. And instantly, something weird happened. People moved differently around me. Some looked at me longer. Some became more polite. Even shopkeepers spoke differently. And that scared me a little. Because nothing about me had actually changed. Not my intelligence, not my personality, not my problems. Only my body language changed. Then came the hardest part. Eye contact. Most people break eye contact too quickly because deep inside, many of us are afraid of being seen, afraid of judgment, afraid of awkwardness, afraid we are not enough. So we escape. We look down. We laugh nervously. We speak too fast. We over-explain. And during this experiment, I stopped doing that. When someone spoke to me, I listened calmly. I held eye contact a little longer. And suddenly, people treated my words like they mattered more. Same words, different energy. That's when I realized something painful. Sometimes the world responds to your energy before it responds to your ideas. Then I changed the next thing, my voice. Not deeper, not louder, slower. Most nervous people rush their words because subconsciously they fear losing attention. Confident people don't chase attention. They expect attention. That changes everything. So I slowed down. I allowed silence. And something unbelievable happened. People interrupted me less. People listened more carefully, and for the first time, I understood why calm people feel powerful. Because calmness signals safety, control, certainty. Meanwhile, panic signals doubt, even if your words are smart. And then came the biggest realization of the entire experiment. Confidence is not magic. It is communication. Your body constantly tells people a story before your mouth opens, and most people are unknowingly telling the world, "Please don't judge me. Please accept me. Please don't reject me." You can see it everywhere. Over-laughing, over-explaining, talking too much, trying too hard, seeking approval in every sentence. I realized I had been doing this too. Maybe you do it too. And honestly, that realization changed me because I finally understood something important. Confidence is not thinking you're better than others. Real confidence is removing the fear of being yourself. That's it. And suddenly the experiment became emotional because I started remembering how many moments in life fear had controlled me. The opportunities missed, the silence, the hesitation, the pretending, the shrinking. Not because I lacked ability, but because I lacked certainty. And the truth is, many people never discover their real personality because anxiety speaks before they do. Think about that. How many people are living as smaller versions of themselves, not because that's who they are, but because fear trained them to hide? And social media made it worse. Now everyone feels watched, compared, judged, measured. People are terrified of looking stupid, so they never become free. But during this experiment, I felt something strange. Freedom. Not because people approved of me, but because I stopped obsessing over whether they did. And ironically, that made people respect me more, which reveals one of the strangest truths about human psychology. People trust people who seem like they trust themselves. That's why fake confidence works. Not because people are stupid, but because humans naturally follow certainty. And honestly, that can be dangerous too, because some manipulative people understand this very well. They use certainty to appear intelligent, even when they are wrong. That's why confidence alone is not enough. You also need awareness, character, kindness, wisdom. Because confidence without character becomes ego, but confidence with self-awareness becomes presence, and there's a huge difference. By the end of the day, the experiment taught me something unexpected. Confidence is not a personality trait. It's a habit your nervous system learns. The more you survive social situations, the more your brain realizes, wait, maybe I'm actually safe. And slowly, you stop performing. You stop chasing approval. You stop shrinking. You stop treating yourself like someone who needs permission to exist. That's when real confidence begins. Not loud confidence, not fake alpha confidence. Quiet confidence. The kind that feels peaceful. The kind that doesn't need to prove anything. And maybe that's the version of confidence the internet forgot to teach us. So if you take anything from this video, let it be this. Your nervousness is not your identity. Your fear is not your personality. And the version of you that feels calm, expressive, intelligent, confident might already exist underneath the fear. Maybe they've just been hidden for too long. And maybe your life changes the moment you stop asking, "What if people judge me?" and start asking, "What version of me would exist if I wasn't afraid?" This is Shine More. And maybe it's time to stop shrinking and finally become visible.